Hello gang, good to see you back again. See, there's actually a couple repeat viewers, actually a couple subscribers going, which is rather amazing. But for those of you who are first time, I am the Articulate Grunt. Welcome. Today is a bit of a historical event in America. For the third time in the entire history of our nation, voters are going to the polls today to vote on a possible recall of a state governor, Wisconsin State Governor Scott Walker, Republican. Now, why is this, you might be wondering, and well, if you're living under a rock and actually wondering that, Governor Walker's been in office for 16 months. About a year ago, he passed his voluntary union membership legislation, passed through their House and Senate, passed their state Supreme Court, and became law. Now, what this did was remove collective bargaining rights from the unions, and Wisconsin, being home of the labor unions where they first started, where they were born, removed them as a mandatory item for you to work, a mandatory requirement for you to work certain jobs. That's right. Here in America, land of the free, if you wanted to work certain jobs, especially public, such as fire department, law enforcement, teachers, you were required to join the union. You had to pay your dues and be a card-carrying union member. You had no choice. You either did it or you didn't have the job, or you'd never get promoted because you weren't one of the boys. Well, he got rid of that. You can still join the union, but it's completely your option. And of course, the union folks are really, really pissed about that, because in the approximately year since it actually passed, their rolls have, as you can imagine, dropped. Among state employees, it's dropped by 45%. Across the state as a whole, state employees and non-state employees, private business and such, it no longer being something that you can require. You cannot require someone to join the union, even in a private business. The estimated rolls across the state for the unions have dropped from 64,000 to 28,000. Estimate, that is, not exact numbers. So yeah, they'd be pissed and want him gone. And they're trying to put Milwaukee Mayor Mr. Mayor Barrett, in his place. Democrat, pro-union man. Okay, well, I'm normally a very factually based individual. I look at the ABCs and see the 1, 2, 3s. So, from what I was able to dig up and find, doing some looking around, let me share some of the facts I found with you. Since this happened, and they're trying to do a recall, originally there was this big push to get him removed, but it's now kind of petered off and simmered down, and Governor Walker is actually leading in the polls by 7% going into today's recall election. Plus or minus 4.1% according to the polling companies. What's even winning by a bare margin, but winning if something doesn't get turned around. Personally, I like that. I'm not a union person myself, even though my wife grew up union. My mom is with the post office and she's part of a union. She's been the union rep a number of times for her region. I'm not a union person. Let me go into some of the factuals of what Governor Walker's been able to do since getting this passed. Wisconsin had a state debt of $3.6 billion, with a B, billion dollars. Not only has he wiped it out in a year, he's managed to establish a surplus of $154 million. Think about that. Alright, he's also got the state unemployment from 7.6% to 6.7%, having created an estimated 23,000 jobs. He saved the school system, which, oh my God, he was going to wreck and destroy the school system. he's not only saved the school system just in their health care, because it's the only stat I could find to give you their health care program. He's managed to save $1.8 million in the school's budget and turn around. Remember that $154 million surplus? Oh, with the $1.8 million and some other state funds, he's actually raised the base teacher's salary by 18% in a year. I don't know about you. I'll take an 18% pay raise. I mean, hell yeah. Okay, sure. Well, he's got to be making it up somewhere. Wait, where's he making up the money? Well, property taxes. No, they're actually at their lowest since 1998. And with people not having to pay union dues, that's, like I mentioned, that 18% pay raise, you're keeping more of it. Where it used to be at 50, or say under the union health insurance, you can have a copay as high as 50%. That's right, you go to the hospital, you get a $1,000 bill, depending on what it's for, you're paying half that. Under the state-provided health care insurance and pension plans, instead of paying the 50%, they pay 15%. Think about that. That's okay, and that's, you're going to go to the hospital more, you can afford it better, and it's more money in your pocket. If you don't go, you don't have to go, you're saving even more money. So pay raise, and you're paying less for things like healthcare, while maintaining the pension plan, so they can still retire with their benefits at the end of everything. Man, just working some good stuff over there. But how about Mr. Barrett, Mayor Barrett? He's been mayor of Milwaukee for several terms and was the opponent to Mr. Walker in the last election. And should he be recalled, or should Governor Walker be recalled, Mayor Barrett would walk in and become governor. How has he done in Milwaukee? Well, he managed to avoid the reforms through several pro-union contracts. And thus his schools have done even better. They've done even better. They've actually managed to only have 2 waves of layoffs in order to maintain their budget and stay open. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm messing with you. They've had 2 waves of layoffs. No pay increase, except what's come from the state. So they're laying off workers instead of giving them raises and taking care of them. But that's okay. Unions will take care of them until they can get a new job. That's part of what you pay your union dues for. Milwaukee's unemployment is actually up to 28%. More than 1 in 4 are unemployed. City taxes and fees are up by 43%. Not up to 43%, but up by 43%. And Milwaukee has sunk to being rated as the 9th poorest city in the country, in all of the United States of America. Now, that's not, here's the richest city and they're 9th. No, here's the poorest city and they're 8 slots away, thus being 9th from being the poorest city in the country. But he's going to take over. If Governor Walker is recalled, he'll take over, repeal the anti-union, the voluntary union membership, and make unions mandatory, repeal everything. Governor Walker's done. That's what I could find on the information on both candidates. Personally, sending my best hopes and wishes to Governor Walker to maintain his seat as governor and continue doing good stuff for the state. However, should Wisconsin get rid of him, I was thinking, perhaps we could find him a new job, say vice presidential running ticket with Mr. Romney. I'd suggest to you Mr. Romney switch places, be vice president, and put Mr. Walker forward as the presidential choice, but he's not going to do that. So, yeah, if he does get recalled, any Romney staffers, which I know we'll never see this, but just in case, Governor Walker would probably be really helpful in getting, if he can do that for Wisconsin, for the country. I'd love to see it. Leave me your thoughts down below. Hit the like or dislike button. Subscribe if you want to. A couple people have. And I'll see you next time. Take care.